Have you ever heard of the term being made redundant? Well, that's what they do in Europe instead of firing you. They just make you redundant, which basically means they brought someone else to do your job and you get to sit on the windowsill and smoke cigarettes all day.
The FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live for free on our Slack channel, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to join the trade faction. If you find this podcast valuable, please follow and share with a friend. And now, on with the show. Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, and you're listening to FX Morning Mayhem, your go-to podcast for the latest updates in finance and global markets. It's time for the daily market briefing. In today's headlines, European stock markets are mostly down, with tech stocks underperforming. Google's parent, Alphabet and AMD, saw significant drops after their earnings reports, while Apple fell as China considers investigating its App Store. The EU is preparing potential actions against US tech giants if President Trump imposes tariffs on European goods. In currency markets, the dollar weakened, with the Japanese yen strengthening on wage data and the euro rising above 1.04 against the dollar. Bond prices increased as Apple's report dampened market sentiment. Gold reached new record highs due to ongoing uncertainty, while oil prices declined despite the weaker dollar. Upcoming events include various economic reports, central bank announcements, and earnings from major companies like Uber, Disney, and Ford. Stay tuned for a currency market update with Bill and Dave up next. Thanks for listening to FX Morning Mayhem podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you found this helpful.
Aussie New Zealand dollar, we are in a downtrend, shortwave phase, but we are not in the zone yet, so there's nothing to do here on this particular trade. Aussie US dollar, long phase, pretty much the same story. We are waiting for this to get into the zone, which it is not in right now. Euro, Canadian dollar, the trend is down. This is in the zone. So we are waiting for a short setup, sweet spot to form on this. So I'm going to mark that as one to watch. Pound, Canadian dollar, uptrend, not in the zone. So we'll ignore that. New Zealand, US dollar, uptrend, but not in the zone, so we won't pay attention there. Singapore dollar, Swiss franc, almost flatline here, so that's a no. US Canadian dollar. Now this one, on the other hand, is in a downtrend, shortwave phase, and in the zone, so we are waiting for a sweet spot to form. Looks like there was one back here that actually worked pretty well. So we'll wait for another one to kick in here sometime soon. So we will put this down on our watch list. And then finally, US Swiss franc, pretty much the same story here. Downtrend, looking for a short in the zone. So we're just waiting for a sweet spot to form here somewhere. And we should be good. So that one goes on the list as well. So that's what's up for the instruments as far as what I wanted to talk about today. was between the US and the European Union, Dave, who do you think has had better growth over the last couple of decades? You are correct. Even though all of the members of the European Union are roughly the same size of GDP as the United States, we have consistently done better than them over the last 16 years. In fact, our economy has doubled compared to theirs over the last 16 years. Can you think of why that might be?
Uh,
Funny you say that. I used to travel to Europe a lot,
yeah.
and one of the things that I found was, have you ever heard of the term being made redundant?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
okay. Well, that's what they do in Europe instead of firing you. They just make you redundant, which basically means they brought someone else to do your job and you get to sit on the windowsill and smoke cigarettes all day. That doesn't fly in the US. That's a big cultural difference. But the main reasons from this economic report that just came out was three things: peace, taxes, and justice. The US is a more favorable environment for economic growth. Our taxes are lower, our regulations are less, and our legal system across the states is more stable than in Europe. So apparently there's lots of disputes that happen that drag on forever because you've got the French legal system or the British or the and it takes forever for anything to get through that rat hole of craziness.
really, I
Yeah.
thought our legal system was bad.
Yeah, theirs is horrible. Oh, and regulations are super horrible in Europe as well. It's very hard to operate as a business over there. So just all that stuff all mixed up into one awful tasting soup really makes for a bad plan. And that's
Yeah.
why we're doing way better than they are. All right, Chief,
Cool.
that is all I have for today.